is it wrong if I really hate just how fake and plastic our culture has become? I mean, it all started with a video game that's being released for the PlayStation 5 called Hogwarts Legacy. And by the way, it's a game that I watched and I think it's kind of good. I mean, I like the concept. I'm looking forward to see more trailers for it. But the first thing that they do, the company, is to distance themselves from J.K. Rowling. I mean, just think about that for a second, because, you know, we usually just don't compute these things. What they're really saying is because J.K. Rowling doesn't believe that a man can have a uterus, therefore she's transphobic, and therefore she's literally Satan. But what's interesting is that if you had this type of culture back in the day when J.K. Rowling first released her book, she would have been canceled. Okay, they can't cancel her now because she is a billionaire, I think. If not the millionaire for sure, but back then they would have canceled her. So like what they would have done is that they would have robbed humanity from Harry Potter, which by the way is a very good series, I think. Like, maybe you don't like it, but a lot of people do. And basically what they're saying is like, because the author is a bad person, we shouldn't gain access to their work. And there are many people today who get canceled because of opinions they have on Twitter. And because of that, they are not unable to publish their work, their book, which literally have nothing to do with their opinions. I mean, you know, when you read Harry Potter, it's not about open borders, it's not about immigration, it's not about socialism, that doesn't scream vote labor. You know, I mean, yeah, shit. That there might be like some themes over there with the bad guy, you know, wanting the purebloods and whatnot. Like, yeah, sure, but like, it doesn't scream vote labor. It doesn't say fuck Boris Johnson when you read Harry Potter. Okay, it's a funny book for kids and teenagers, which would have been canceled if today's culture existed back when J.K. Rowling published her books, and if people knew her opinion on men not having uteruses. The Muppets would not exist if today's culture is a thing. Like, Disney stated that the Muppets is problematic, but they're still willing to make money out of it. You know, it's like, okay, well, if it was done, I guess like that's the morality of the left. It's like, okay, as long as it has already been done, like, might as well make money out of it, right? Even though it's problematic and racist, we can still monetize it somehow. Fuck me. But no, like, this isn't the funny bit, okay? Like, this isn't the funny bit. Like, what I want to say is that the left really gives a shit about these things that normal people don't care, which is why the left is winning, because they care about every single goddamn inch of ground they can take in the culture war. So they will automatically state, like any company will state, no, we distance ourselves from J.K. Rowling, because they know that there are unhinged people out there that will probably still buy the product, but they will cause a stink about it on social media if they don't distance themselves. It's just for facade. It's just like for show. Because I'm willing to bet if J.K. Rowling right now creates something else that's highly popular, like a new franchise, a new IP that's incredibly popular, Disney will have absolutely no problem buying the rights for that. Or Warner Brothers or whoever, you know, and then they distance themselves until they can make more money, and then they approach themselves, okay, they distance again. Like that's how it works. Now, what's really hilarious is that it seems that the guy in charge, or like the lead developer or something like that, used to be part of Gamergate. And again, people freak out. Like there were literally articles in the mainstream media, or sorry, the mainstream journalist media, claiming that here's a guy you've never heard about, and this is why he's a bad person. Alright, now, I vaguely remember the guy. He was a game developer during Gamergate. He was dressed in a suit, and he had really good takes about a lot of things. Like, he wasn't a misogynist or a sexist or anything like that. He just said that game journalists are corrupt. Like, that was it. Which obviously is enough to piss off game journalists, which are now trying to tie him to sexism and misogyny, even though he never said anything sexist or misogynist. Because if he did, they would show it. There is nothing that he said, right? It's like, oh, he's part of this movement that's evil. It's like, you know, pointing out to a journalist that's a socialist and then say, look, my grandfather was killed by socialists in Eastern Europe, and therefore you're associated with mass murder because you say that you're a socialist. It's really that argument, okay? But it's when they do it, they have power, so it sticks. Give me a couple $1 million and I'll get some labels to stick as well. I'll just start the publication and then I can stick a lot of things to people. Stick the label, stick it. But anyway, right. So they're like now attacking, I suppose, the lead developer, which, from my understanding, created a good game. I mean, I'm looking at the trailers. I want to hate this shit because it's Harry Potter. Like, how can you not hate this shit? The moment you get like your first pubic hair or your testicle, you hate Harry Potter. It's the natural way of life. But like, no, I can't hate it because it looked good. I looked the trailer. I legitimately like it. Okay. What can I say? If I was a leftist, I would probably boycott it for ideological reasons. It's like, okay, they're catering to the leftist crowd, therefore I'm out. You know, like that's how a leftist would think. And honestly, maybe I should start thinking this way as well. But yeah, like this raised a fuss again on social media. It's like, oh, yeah, the lead developer was part of Gamergate, bad person, misogyny, blah, 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 blah. Now, what's interesting is that the company says that they will allow transgender characters in the video game. Okay, so everything is so plastic. Like none of these things actually help anyone. But you know why they're doing it. Like it's so blatantly obvious. It's just a marketing campaign. It's not that people desire transgender people in video games. If they did desire it, they would mod them in. Because modding is very simple nowadays. In fact, Darkest Dungeon, I think, has a mod where you get to play with girls that have peepees. You know, like, that's a thing. Why? Because, like, the market desires it. If the market desires it, they will find a way. And when you look at these games that offer different genders, right? There is a good way to do it, and then there's a bad way to do it. So the good way to do it is like Mass Effect, where the gender that you play actually matters. Like, you get different dialogue options, you get different romance options, right? So it matters the gender that you play. There are other games that do bad ways of gender. For example, the Soul series. The Soul series is like, I don't fucking care. Like, even if you play male or female, it's literally the same. You probably even have a helmet on, so you can't see your face anyway. And I guess other than the grunts that your character makes when they get hit or they're swinging a sword, it doesn't really matter if you're a guy or a girl, right? So these are like the games that I think like the character customization is an extra that doesn't really matter. Like no one really cares about it. And when you think it's like, okay, now you have transgenders in the game. What do they add though? Like is a new dialogue option available for them? Like is someone going to, like are you going to face a trans misogynist as the final boss? Which is going to say that men don't have uteruses and that you can cast spells at them, you can abracadabra them, like, Crucia! You know, like that shit? Because if it's that, then okay, I'll buy the game. Like, that would be interesting. I would create a transgender character if you actually do something like that. You know, go Crucio on the transphobe. Crucio! You know, like, that would be great. You know, maybe you get hired by Twitch. And then you get like all the power, and no one can do anything against you. And people should fear me. Okay, yeah, then I will buy that. That would be a great selling point. But the reason they're doing this is so blatantly obvious. It's just like, okay, we distance ourselves from J.K. Rowling. Here's how we do it. None of the conversations, though, that I hear around the game is about the actual fucking gameplay. Like, I'm actually interested in this game, okay? I know it's weird, but I am interested. I'm curious. Like, what is the selling point? What is the game that actually has good things? But no, like, I hear none of that, okay? And the focus is on the gender. But I am curious if there is even one person on planet Earth, okay? Just like one person on planet Earth that would not have bought this game. Like, they would be like, no, I'm not buying this because I'm not interested. But because now you can have transgender people in it, they're like, you know what, I'm sold. I'm going to buy this game. I'm curious, like, if there's just one person. Just one. Like, all these marketing campaigns are just so obnoxious. They're catering and pandering and all of the thing. That's what I have to say about this. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the comment section, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm. And now I guess I'll get ready for the live stream. Take care.